Awete everyone, this is Regulus Pastor. Welcome back to Higurashi no Nakoroni. We are starting Tsumihoroboshi-hen, the 6th arc out of all the 8 main arcs. And on this new laptop, my first stream on it, it's been an awfully long time I've been off. Trying to transfer all the files, re-download and remod games, set up everything on this new computer, and yeah, the camera is not mirrored, so my right hand is actually looking like you're looking at somebody and they're raising their right hand. I think everything that's necessary is in order. I've had to improvise a new chat box now because it didn't want to just capture the pop-out window like it normally would on the other computer. But it's up and running, and sort out the little tiny things I want to fix later. But let's get started. This should work. I only opened this and started a game enough to see that the voices and everything were working. So, Tsumihoroboshi, the first fall, atonement chapter. How is your reasoning towards the truth coming along? The next tragedy is ready for you. Enjoy. This is a humorous story with a tragic struggle at the end. The difficulty is 0. You can just enjoy the clowns milling about. I love how they say the difficulty is 0, and aside from the console ports, which nobody wants to talk about, there's not really anything you have to do other than read stuff. What they're actually referring to is piecing the puzzle together. Alright. I have to remember these mod shortcuts. Mostly for the voice volume. Okay.
The first time, I would try harder to avoid the inevitable tragedy. The second time, I would be disgusted with the inevitable tragedy. The third time, my disgust would turn into anguish, and I couldn't read the last line in time.
Frederica Berncastle. Yeah, I don't think these sprites will have lip sync, but we'll see. The chorus of the Higurashi had replaced that of the cicadas. Their cries came from a distance, echoed loudly, and then faded away. They sounded so weak and fragile. Rena's voice was just like the cries of the Higurashi. She'd say something, but the words would quickly fade away. Okay, I've never played Steins Gate. I watched like the first 3 episodes of the anime. I couldn't get into it, personally, but I know a lot of people like it. She sounded so fragile. I should be reading this in Cage's voice, apparently. Let's see if I remember how to do this. The chorus of the Higurashi had replaced that of the cicadas. Their cries came from a distance, echoed loudly, and then faded away. They sounded so weak and fragile. Rena's voice was just like the cries of the Higurashi. She'd say something, but the words would quickly fade away. She sounded so fragile that it made me worry she might vanish into thin air along with her words. But nobody is pressuring her to continue. Mion dusted off the hood of an abandoned car and sat down on it as if to show how relaxed she was. Are you sure that's supposed to be Mion? Oh well. She actually did look very relaxed, as if she came here to enjoy the cool breeze of the evening or something. Satoko followed Mion's example and sat down as well. She didn't look nearly as relaxed, however. I thought about following suit, but it felt rude to look away from Rena, even for the short time it would take to look for a place to sit down. So I decided to remain standing.
Rika-chan didn't sit down either. But she wasn't looking at Rena. Everybody else was looking at Rena, but Rika-chan was looking at the red sky. Rika-chan's expression was hard to describe. She looked pale and blank at the same time, as if all of her emotions were gone. Rena wore the same kind of expression. She kept trying to say something, but it seemed like the words were stuck in her throat. She noticed Rika-chan was looking at the sky, so she decided to look that way as well. Mion did the same. So did I. Satoko looked that way too. And with that, there was silence. It was like we were in a concert hall, filled with the chorus of the Higurashi. A concert hall with the highest roof in the world. The professionally cool breeze tickled our sweaty bodies. I could almost make myself believe we came here to enjoy the breeze and the sunset. I could only wish that was what we came here for. The shadows of the birds flying across the sky soured the feeling of our quiet concert. It reminded us that time hadn't stopped. Nobody wanted to pressure Rena. We didn't want time to pressure either. We wanted to keep the cool red sky as long as we could, so Rena could calm down and talk. Right then, I heard a sound, and it brought us all back to reality. The hood Mion was sitting on had made a noise when she moved across her legs. I don't know whether Mion made the noise on purpose or not, but it reminded us that time had been passing by. The noise took our attention away from the sky and back to the ground. Such a tasteless noise seemed to have urged Rena to speak. Rena heaved a small sigh, nodded as if she understood something, and looked at us like she always did. Oh, I have to stretch out my legs. It's kind of hard when you're sitting on a bed. My old computer still is taking up my desk space, so this has got to be it for now.
話す前に一個だけ言いたいことがあるの。
There's one thing I want to say before anything else.
She was probably saying it to everybody. But since I'm standing in the middle, with her looking at me, I nodded to her to represent our agreement.
レナは正しい努力をしたと思ってる。
I think I did the right thing.
Her voice wasn't hoarse anymore. She sounded just like she always did.
人って幸せになるためにどれだけの努力が許されるのかな。
I wonder how much we're allowed to struggle in order to be happy.
It sounded like a question, but nobody answered.
だからね、私みーちゃんの部活って好きなの。
That's why I really like Mi-chan's club.
ほら、優勝のためには何でもしようって考え方、そういうのって素敵だと思う。
The one rule is to do whatever it takes to win, right? I think that's wonderful.
だって世の中が綺麗事で縛られてて、やっていい努力がわずかだけに決められていたら、幸せじゃない人たちはますます幸せを勝ち取れなくなっちゃうじゃない？
If we were only allowed to do nice things, and if there was a limit to how much we could struggle, people who aren't happy wouldn't be able to seize happiness at all.
不幸ってね、連鎖するものだと思うの。
Misfortunes are like a chain reaction, I think.
一度続き始めるとなかなか抜け出せない。
Once they begin, they're very, very hard to escape.
そこから抜け出すには運とか人の助けとか、そういう他力本願なものだけじゃ到底足りない。
In order to escape the chain of misfortunes, you need more than just luck or even assistance.
自分でももっともっと努力しないといけないと思うの。
I think you need to struggle as hard as you possibly can.
それも本当に精一杯。
You need to do your best.
そこまでしてやっとつかめるのが幸せってものじゃないかなって。
That's how you seize true happiness. That's what I believe.
Rena stopped talking, looked up, heaved a sigh and opened her mouth again.
でもだからってみんなにもそれを受け入れてもらおうなんて甘えるつもりもないかな。
Excuse me. Oh, I can't have the trash right next to me because I'm on my bed. Tissues will have to do.
But I'm not saying that I expect you to accept what I did.
だって本当に汚らしいもの。
I know that was a very bad thing to do.
みんなだってついさっき呆然としたでしょ。
Didn't you all look stunned a while ago?
それはつまりそういうことだよね。
That tells me everything.
I've never seen her smile so self-derisively like this. That smile looked unbelievably painful. I could really feel how huge the distance between us was. There's nothing physically there, but I felt as if she was talking to us through iron bars or a chain-link fence. That's how great the distance between us was.
でもそれでもいいよ。仕方ないもんね。
But it's okay. There's nothing we can do about it.
そういう風にできてる世の中だもん。
That's just how things are in this world.
多分私が逆の立場でいられたなら同じように唖然として無責任で無慈悲な同情を浮かべていたに違いないもの。
If I were you, I'd probably look just as stunned. And I'd say something irresponsible and merciless.
She probably said that to hit back at us. We're just putting on a mask of sympathy, enjoying the spectacle of a clown on a stage. That's why she said that. She probably expected us to say something in return. But none of us knew what to say. Rena looked disappointed for a moment, then turned and clambered on top of an abandoned car. Then she spread her arms out and gave a little twirl, letting her skirt billow up before she grabbed both ends and gave us a grateful curtsy.
Is this rule of rose all over again?
Greetings, Jennifer.
じゃあ始めるよ。リュウグウレナの一世一代の頑張り物語を。
I believe I did reference some line of Higurashi at some point during my Rule of Rose stream, so it's kind of full circle.
Well then, are you ready for a story? This is how the story of Ryuuguu Rena did her best.
There was no curtain or spotlight. She was atop an abandoned car amidst the trash piles, a stage specially made for her. We tried not to miss a word of what she was about to say. We believed that was the least we could do to not hurt her feelings.
I really need to trim my beard. Chapter 6 Tsumihoroboshi-hen Higurashi no Nakakoro ni Kai. Thank goodness. That's like a getting signals. Oh, my apologies.
光を止めるために瞳を閉じていた日
It's all
々
depending
流
on
れ
my health.
込む無知素なテクスチャー黒き彫像を視覚された刺激は特殊なリズムになって感染症のように熱を帯び叫ぶつもりやそれは目上がりの空のような奇跡
That character is from
曇り
5 arcs. But Higurashi-hen is actually the first arc of Kai. Oh well. Who am I reading as? Yeah. Can't think of the words I want to say. Crap. Having a brain fart right now. I've seen a little bit of this arc streamed by someone else, and I think the text for Rena was sakura colored. It was colored like a cherry blossom. So I'm gonna assume this is Cage. I better not be proven wrong. I hate that about visual novels. I hate that about that medium and its tendencies. Let's say it's a winter month like December right now. What would you do if, all of a sudden, you had a week of hot and humid days with crying cicadas? Would you still wear your coat and scarf? Absolutely not, right? Even though it's still June, it's already summer to us, since we've been having hot days for so long. So it's totally okay to do this kind of club activity in June. At my school, everybody usually does what they want in PE class, but today would be an exception. All my classmates were gathered in the schoolyard. Myeon looked over everybody gathered there and spoke up loudly. Okay, this needs to be turned up. What? Maybe because I hit control. Have to go and log now.
Hey, everyone. You ready? Yeah!
They all raised the water guns in their hands. It's okay to use water guns in June because it's been so hot and humid. Why don't you go on a little longer with whether or not it's okay to use water guns in June? Please. Enlighten me more with that fascinating subject. All my classmates were joining in, so it's gonna be a big water gun battle. I'm so excited! Boys?
It is so exciting to do a club activity with everyone from class. Yeah!
What happened? Did I accidentally turn it down by mistake?
Yeah!
Oh, now I hit the text box.
全員で表ではしゃぐのってなんだか楽しそうかな
So that's exactly what I did.
It's going to be so much fun to play outside with everybody together! Together!
みんなは楽しいですが僕たちは例によって負けられないのです
It's going to be fun for them, but we have to be serious, because we can't lose.
ま、そういうこったな。およそ勝負と名の付く以上、俺たち部活メンバーは常にリスクを背負ってるからな。
Oh, yeah! For us club members, every game comes with a risk.
まあそういうこと。
Exactly.
部活メンバー諸君は部活に負けたりしちゃうと大変なペナルティが待ってるからね。
I look forward to the punishment our more careless members are going to suffer.
せいぜいしっかり戦うこと。
Good luck, everyone!
よしよし、盛り上がってきたぜ。
Alright, I'm so pumped!
生徒諸君、武器点検は十分か？
Everybody listen up! Can you all check your guns?
弾倉は満タンか？
Are your tanks full?
任せてくださいよ、前原さん。
We're all ready, my bottom.
銃撃戦は僕たちの最も得意とするところですからね。
We're very good at gun battles!
富田たちはよく水鉄砲で遊んでますからかなり強敵かもなのですよ
Tomita and his friends play with water guns a lot, so they might have an advantage.
ふんふんふん。今日の僕たちは少し違います。
They're different men today.
Oh, different, and you can't even reach. Actually, I don't know where I was going with that. Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun smiled confidently, holding their guns in a practiced manner. Their skills must give them confidence. They even look different.
ミオンは言うに及ばず、サトコもリカちゃんもかなり強敵になりそうだぜ。
As we all know, Mion is going to be a tough opponent, but I think Satoko and Rika-chan could be too.
レナはどうだ？ちょこまか動いて、いいの一番にやられないように頑張れよ。
What about you, Rena? You can move fast, but you could end up being their target as well, so be careful.
そういえば、最近のレナは罰ゲーム常連だな。
You've been losing a lot of games lately and taking most of the punishments. Now, is that like she's embarrassed or like she's a little aroused thinking of the punishments?
最近不得意なゲームが多かったから。
But it's just that the beating games weren't my specialty.
でもケイチ君も最近私と同じで罰ゲームが多いと思うかな。
Oh, she doesn't have a mean bone in her body.
But Kate-kun, I think you've been losing a lot these days too, haven't you?
罰ゲームの格好のまま帰宅して、さあ脱ごうとしたところでお袋に見つかった俺の哀愁などわかるものか。
You have no idea how miserable I was when I had to go home wearing a bra and my mom saw me in it right before I was about to take it off.
むがー。
私だって先週のはひどいよ。普通の女の子ならお嫁に行けなくなっちゃうよ。
They always say that. I need to turn the background music volume down and turn everything else up. Let's see. Okay. That should be good. Okay. Let me know if it's too loud. Actually, it might be. Okay. Oh yeah.
My last punishment was terrible. Was as terrible as yours. I'm ruined for marriage after having to do that.
Satoko laughed at us loudly while we were shuddering at the memory of the cruel punishments we suffered in the past.
覇気や運気にも偏りというのがございましてよ。
You've been low in both luck and spirit.
その意味から言えば、
I know why you've been losing so frequently.
ここしばらくのレナさんやケイチさんはいわゆる負け組というやつでございますわね。
That's because, you see, you're both losers.
確かに負け癖ってやつはあるね。
Is that it?
She's right. Once you get used to losing, you just can't stop.
どうしてやつは負けが続くとくじけてくる。
After all those losses, your fighting spirit fades away.
絶対勝てるという信念が砕けると、全く同じことをやっても裏目裏目に出るもんだからね。
When you can't believe in yourself, nothing goes right, even if you're doing the same thing as everyone else.
てめえら。たまたま俺とレナがちょいと罰ゲームを哀れに思って引き受けてやってたのを感謝もせずにその言い草か。
Haven't you realized that Rena and I took those punishments on purpose because we wanted to spare you that fate? You should be thanking us, not calling us losers.
あら、そうでしたの？
Oh, is that so?
それは感謝の気持ちが足りず申し訳ないことでございましたよ。
I'm very sorry for not thanking you enough then.
うわー！うわー！サトコてめえ！サトコ！そのセリフは俺の怒りに火をつけたぜ。
You just added oil to the flames of my rage.
合 いさせてやる。
I'll make you regret what you just said!
その意気だよケイちゃん。
That's the spirit, K-chan.
まあせいぜいあがいておじさんを楽しませてちょうだいよね。
This old man hopes he can at least last long enough to serve as entertainment.
レンナも頑張って。
Rena, you too.
あうあう言ってる間にクラスで一番最初に脱落したらさすがに恥ずかしいからね。
You'd be embarrassed if you were the first one to get shot.
でもその可能性も高いかな。
But I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen.
一番最初に脱落するのがレナさんだと思いましたよ。
I too think Rena's hand's going down first.
どんな目に遭うか今からお覚悟なさいませな。
Prepare yourself for a bad time.
ひどいよ、みーちゃんもさとこちゃんも。
No! Lee-chan, Satoko-chan, he's so mean!
レナもケイイチもファイトオーですよ。
Rena and Kate, go for it! Yay!
Mio and Satoko laughed at us as loud as they could, then moved on to tease their next target. Left alone, all I could do was stomp on the floor in anger.
さあ
Darn it!
絶対負けねえ。あそこまで言われたら負けられねえぜ。
I'm going to win. I can't let them laugh at me like that again.
そうだね。
I agree.
あそこまで言われると悔しいよね。
It feels bad to have them laugh at us like that.
っていうか悔しいどころじゃねえぞ。プライドの問題だぞ。
It's not only how it feels, it's also how they step on my pride.
さあ
Darn it!
みーちゃんの言うように負け癖ってやっぱりあるかもしれないよね。
Like Mi-chan said, it might be true that you can't stop losing once you get used to it.
だから今日は絶対に勝ってみんなを見返してやろう。
That's why we have to win today, no matter what, so we can get even.
Rena's eyes look different. She's usually a funny and weird person, but I know she has the determination to do what she needs to. When Rena looks like this, she can be a tough opponent.
今日は私も部活の規則にのっとり手加減なしでいく。
Today, I'll follow the first club rule. I'm going to do everything I can to win.
おうなんだかかっこいいこと言うじゃねえの。
Oh, you sound determined.
まるで普段の自分はわざと手を抜いているって言わんばかりだぜ。
You sound cool, but also as if you've been going easy on them before. Rena smiled. Maybe you could have called it a wicked grin. She was serious. She was serious about what she said. I could tell that from her expression alone. Among all the club members, Rena is easily the most sensible one. The rule of our club is that we can do anything in order to win. She's the only one who has moral qualms in doing it. That's why we rarely have a hard time against her, except for when she snaps. It's rare to hear her say that she won't go easy. Foreshadowing?
ちっくしょう。そんな笑い方されたら俺も超本気で行くしかねえじゃねえかよ。
Darn it! When you grin like that, you leave me no choice. I have to be super serious about this too.
いつも本気で戦うのが部活だけど、それでもやっぱりそれ以上に本気じゃないといけない時ってあるよね。
I always have to fight with all I have in our club. But I believe there's a time when I have to get super serious about it.
今日は多分それだね。
I think today is the time.
だな。
Indeed!
Yeah!
We pounded our fists together. Usually when we really don't want to lose the game, we're asked together to work together, but then I didn't ask this time. Which meant that she was going to try to defeat everybody by herself. No, not try. She was going to do it by herself. Then I looked really cool at that moment, but I wasn't scared. If she were seriously going to do it, I'd be serious and do it too. My fighting spirit had been dented after many losses, but it had begun to burn hot once more.
ケイチくんもなかなかいい顔してるね。
You look good too, Kate-kun.
怖いな。全員と一人で戦っても勝てるつもりでいる顔だね。
You even scared me a little. You look like you're going to defeat everybody all by yourself.
レナだってそのつもりだろ。
I know that's what you're going to do too.
じゃあぶつかるのは最後だね。
That means we're going to fight against each other at the very end.
互いにクラス全員を全滅させたら最後にはそうなるな。
We would if we defeated everybody else. Hello, Jifaka. How are you doing tonight?
最後の戦いの時、そこにいるのがケイチくんなのを期待してるね。
I hope you'll be the last one I have to fight against.
おう
Yeah, me too. We pounded our fists together again.
光線規定はちゃんと覚えてるね。
Does everyone remember the rules?
被弾時の申請だけは正直にね。
You have to call it out when you get hit.
被弾した人は撃っちゃダメだよ。仮に当てても無効ね。
Once you hit, you can't shoot anyone. Even if you did, it wouldn't count.
See, this is what I have problems with in real life. This is why I have water gun fights where the score actually matters is bad for me because I'm not self-aware. Like, when I'm in the zone trying to shoot others, I'm not paying attention to whether I'm getting hit.
ミオン、被弾の定義を再確認したいぜ。
Mule, I'd like to confirm the definition of being hit one last time.
水鉄砲で撃たれたら被弾。
When somebody shoots you with a water gun, you're hit.
ひねくれたケイちゃんのためにさらに補足するなら、
I'll break it down more for you, Kid-chan.
水鉄砲というこの容器から出た水が最初に触れたものが標的であった時被弾とするわけ。
You're only hit when it's water from a water gun.
つまり水鉄砲を経由した水をバケツに溜めてぶっかけても無効ってわけ。
In other words, you're not hit when somebody splashes you with a bucket of water.
直接攻撃以外は有効じゃないってことだね。
Only direct shots from a water gun count.
さとこちゃんの脅威が少し薄らいだかな。
I'm sure you're not so scared of Satoko-chan's trap attacks now, huh?
トラップにもいろいろございましたよ。
I would still have many kinds of traps ready for you.
レナさんなんか一番最初に餌食にして差し上げましたよ。
Rena-san, you'll be my first target.
それは無理。
I don't think so.
私を仕留めようとしたらさとこちゃんじゃまだまだ役不足だね。
You're not strong enough to take me down yet.
なんですって？
What did you just say?
レナが売り言葉とはね。
I can't believe Rena gave Satoko tip for tat.
こりゃ面白くなりそうだよ。
This is going to be fun.
ね、ケイちゃん。
Don't you think so, Kei-chan?
大して面白くねえと思うぞ。
I don't think so.
俺かレナか、どっちにやられたいかを選ばされるだけなんだからな。
At least not for you, because all you'll be doing is choosing which of us is going to shoot you first.
ケイチもやる気満々なのです。
Kate seems determined to win.
Mule seemed to sense the fighting spirit in me and Rena. I could tell that she's as serious as we are, just from the way she looks.
よっしゃ。
One second. Let me keep hydrated. Oh, I guess it's already untwisted.
Alright,
いい面構えだよ。気に入った。
I like your spirit.
じゃあ始めるよ。
Are you all ready to start?
全員3回。
Everybody, possessions!
くじで決められた場所に移動してね。
You the ones you drew by lot earlier. Everybody had to draw lots to pick a place to start the game from. It wouldn't be fun if everybody were close together at the beginning of the game. By the way, my starting position was behind the school building. When I drew the starting position, I thought about hiding until there were only a few people left like I did in our last game of tag. A defensive tactic like that wasn't interesting to me anymore. I hadn't been this excited in a long time. My legs were shaking with the excitement. It was my first time experiencing that kind of feeling. I could hear Mion's countdown from some distance away.
3、2、1。
3, 2, 1.
A single shot of a toy pistol echoed. With that sound, I was already running around the building. There had to be some underclassmen nearby. I'd usually assume that somebody else would take care of them, but this time was different. They stood frozen in fear as I ran towards them, screaming at the top of my voice. It took a moment to quickly decide whether to fight or run away. And in that one moment, I shot at one after another.
悪いな。
Sorry, guys.
俺の隣が当たった時点で運がなかったと思ってくれ。
You just got unlucky with where you started. I felt bad for them because they lost the game so quickly, so I rubbed their heads to cheer them up, and then took their water guns. Yes, that was the key factor in this game. You can't put very much water in a water gun. 10 people around you in a gun battle, water would be gone in a minute. I invented the gun I used to shoot them, held one of their guns in each hand, and scoped out the schoolyard. Just like I expected, there was an intense battle happening there. The short time it took me to take care of the area behind the school building, it seemed like most of my classmates were already shot. I wasn't surprised though. I kind of knew it would happen. You need to have a high skill to fight in the open schoolyard. Especially when most of the club members were there. It must have been like a battle of elephants and ants.
なんだミオンのあれは。
What is it Mion's holding? Mion was holding a different water gun from the one she had when the game started. She's now holding one that looked like a huge machine gun. Its range capability, its pump action shooting, the amount of water it can hold were way beyond comparison. There were no risk of choosing what kind of water gun we could use today. Holy crap, my mouth does not want to form words. As long as it's a water gun, we were allowed to use any kind. Most of us have a normal pistol-style water gun from a local toy store or something similar. She's rich. Of course she'd afford the big one. I would have bought a bigger one like Mion's if they'd had one. But they weren't in stock, and I'd have to order it in. In other words, Mion ordered hers a long time ago, just for today. She's always well prepared when it comes to winning. She must have thought that we wouldn't allow her to use the big water gun if she showed it off before the game started. She must have hidden it somewhere. It looks like most of her classmates were shot right after the game started. Only a few were still alive, trying to survive as long as they could by using heavy construction equipment as a shield. Mio mercilessly shot at them from various angles to make them come out from behind the shield.
そらそんなとこに隠れてないで出てきな。
Stop hiding, cowards! Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun were trying their best to resist her attack from behind the shield. It looked like they had no chance against her, but that actually wasn't true. After all, the two of them were only still alive because of all of their experience in water gun battles. They survived the first few minutes of her assault, even though 99% of their classmates didn't, and they were still surviving at that very moment. Mion, however, is also a battle-hardened soldier. She used the advantage of her big water tank, and gradually but certainly drove them into a corner. It was only a matter of time until she broke them down.
ダメだ。あのマシンガンはずるいよ。
Look, we're cornered. It's not fair that she has a machine gun.
委員長の水が少なくなるまでなんとかしのごう。
All we have to do is survive till her tank runs low.
今は手も足も出ないよ。
We don't stand a chance against her when she's shooting at us like this.
They tried to hold out against her, but all they could do for now was to keep running behind cover as Mion strayed closer and closer to them. They wanted us Now, they wanted to use their 2 against 1 advantage, but it seemed like they wouldn't even get that chance. If they tried attacking recklessly, one of them might get shot, and then the other would have no chance of winning. So they grew more cautious, placing their bets on their final chance. That caused their offense to wane. Of course, Mion saw through their plan. She was purposely provoking them so that they'd lose their patience and start attacking her recklessly. Mion circled around the construction equipment. Now she was standing with her back towards me. If I went up against her machine gun fair and square, I wouldn't stand a chance. So, attacking from behind would be the only way for me to defeat her. Even though she was in a defenseless position, there was some distance between us. I was still too far away. But it would still be better to attack her now than to take her head on. Don't hesitate, Kate! You won't have this chance again! And to spray more entertainer's secret. Keep my throat hydrated. Right now, my throat feels like it's been sitting on hot gravel. I stepped out from my hiding place and ran as fast as I could toward her with 2 water guns in my hand. Instead of approaching slowly and silently, I screamed at the top of my lungs! What? There you are! Kita! Mion seemed a little shocked by my surprise attack, but she immediately pulled herself together. She knew the advantages of her weapon, but she didn't shoot me just yet. She held back, luring me closer. Mion was well aware of how much water she had left. If she had the same kind of water gun as me, we would have had the same range capability. So it would have been down to our technique to decide the winner. If she was fighting against one of her underclassmen, she could have defeated them easily. Mion immediately calculated her chances of winning against me and figured out that her only chance was to use the advantage of her water gun. She saw the eye of the tiger in me and recalculated her chances of winning in a split second. Eye of the tiger. Nice. In keeping with the 80s, which is the decade in which this is set. Particularly, this is 1983, so let's see. Let's make sure of the date of the song Eye of the Tiger. Just to see if it's, synchronous or not. 1982, okay. Ryuuguu 07 did his research. Really, I can admire how fast she does these things. I ran at top speed to shorten the distance between us. Our strength should have been equal. I had 2 water guns with full tanks and she had a machine gun with a half-empty tank. We both waited for the perfect moment.
今日のケイちゃんの気迫には敬意を表するよ。
Your fighting spirit deserves my respect, Kei-chan.
今日のあんたには正面からぶつかり合って互角以上の勝率を弾き出せる自信がない。
I'm not sure if I would have been a match for you today if I didn't have this gun.
残念だぜミオン。勝率の弾き方も鈍ったな。
I'm disappointed in you, Mion. Your calculations are off today.
今日の俺に正面からぶつかり合ったら互角どころじゃない。
Did you say you thought you could beat me?
俺の負けだ
Because you don't stand a chance!
The moment we stepped within range, Mion and I pulled our triggers at the same time.
Mion set her sights squarely on me while I was trying to shoot and run at the same time. Her shot would obviously be more accurate than mine. My shot of water flew towards nowhere. Mion didn't even need to duck. The Mion shot made a beautiful arc straight towards my chest. I could see the line of water coming straight at me, but I was too unstable to dodge. Mion had no doubt that she got me.
気合だけではどうにもならない現実がこれだったね。
You need more than spirit to defeat me!
やっぱりケイちゃんは最初に脱落だ。
I knew you'd be the first to go down!
やっぱり残念だぜミオン。
How long does this arc of water last in the air? I'm still disappointed in Mion.
今日のミオンのコンピュータは一手読みが足りないぜ。
Your calculations are really off today.
ほざくな
Oh crap!
その体勢からかわす術はない
You can't dodge that shot!
水の弾丸で撃ち抜かれろそしてどうして私の背後を沈黙して奪わず叫びながら襲う具を犯したかを呪うがいいよ
Let me go straight through you, and you'll regret the moment you chose to come at me screaming rather than creeping up from behind.
Really disappointing me today, Mion. You could have figured it out if you spent just one more second to think. Could have figured out the reason why I didn't creep up on you, but screamed as loud as I could instead. Mion noticed my surprise attack and turned around to face me. However, when she turned her back on the opponent she was fighting earlier, the opponents heard my scream and saw that she had turned her back on them.
なんだって
What? What's this?
Mion noticed her back was wet and cold. She finally understood the underclass which she was attacking just earlier had shown their fangs and attacked her from behind. I blocked her water shot with my arm. Right before it hit my chest! Wait. Was that specified in the rules? The line of water was broken into droplets and splattered away.
そうだったか
Darn it!
被弾者の攻撃は被弾しても向こうだ
I got hit first, so my shot didn't count.
そいつに気づくのだいぶ遅かったぜ。
You still shouldn't be looking to block with your arms, Gage. You took too long to figure it out.
伏せろミオン。
Now get down, Mion! Mion squatted down and covered her head. Now it was me versus Tomita-kun or Kamura-kun. Their reflexes weren't so bad. They knew well that I'd be their next target after Mion was gone. They didn't feel sorry at all for attacking me right after I just saved them from their predicament. I can respect the cruelty and how quickly they shifted gears. They may one day be able to join our club if they keep refining their sense of skill! Or their sense
次
of
は前
skill.
原さんだこのまま撃ち殺すんだ
Our next target is Maibara-san. Let's get him!
こっちは2人だもんね
It's one against two.
負けるわけがない
We can take him.
They were, however, one step behind me. It was already too late. For them, Mion was the first target, and I was next. But I was different. My first target was them from the start. I didn't even see Mion as my target to begin with, because I knew they'd take care of her. I was pointing my guns at them long before they moved their sights from Mion to me. It seemed like they noticed at the last moment that both of my guns had been pointing at them from the beginning. Which meant it was already too late for them. I jumped over Mion, rolled on the ground, and landed on my feet. I was just wiping something off of my screen, but I forgot my screen is a touch screen, so it registers a click. I looked as elegant as an athlete who had just finished a perfect performance. I had a gun in each of my hands, and with those guns I shot them each in the middle of their chests.
早すぎる
I didn't even register what happened before then.
So fast!
僕たちが2人がかりで負けるなんて
How could the two of us lose against one?
This is just like after you defeat a trainer in Pokemon and they have that little line where they acknowledge your defeat. They're surprised. That's how it feels. Tomita-kun or Kamura-kun fell to the knees in disappointment.
ケイちゃんがこれだけのことをやってのけるなんて私も鈍ったってことかな
I can't believe you did all this, Kei-chan. I guess I'm off today, like you said.
Mion wiped the dirt off her knees. Oh, looking frustrated.
別にミオンは鈍っちゃいなかったろ。
Don't worry, it wasn't you. It was all me, baby!
じゃあなんでおじさんが負けたわけよ。
Then why did I lose?
そんなの決まってるじゃねえか。
That's simple. I twirled my guns on the tips of my fingers.
たまには勝たねえと格好がつかねえからだよ。
I have to win sometimes in order to keep looking so cool. Ugh. You hammed it up too much, Cage. There were only a few people left alive. Rena, Satoko, and myself. Rena and Satoko were fighting fiercely. Were they evenly matched? No. Satoko was pushing her hard. Moving fast, she was driving Rena into a corner. Rena was usually gentle and slow, but today she was different. She was very serious today, and yet, Satoko was still overwhelming her. She's a tough customer even without her tricky traps.
最初の威勢はどこへ行ってしまいましたのかしら。
You remember threatening me earlier? I suppose you were just bluffing.
いい動きをするね。
You move well. You move well.
私も負けられないよ。
But I'm still going to win.
Satoko kept moving around, piling on pressure in order to pin Rena down. He should really be a sports commentator. Although I hate sports commentators. Well, I should say I hate sports commentary. Nothing against people. She kept shooting, so her tank must have also... I can't speak and I'm gagging. She kept shooting, so her tank must have almost been empty. But her shots were still sharp and fast. I noticed a bucket near her feet, which was full of many water guns. I understood, seeing that. She'd been taking guns from others who were already out of the game. In this battle, reloading bullets, water, was more crucial than the actual shooting. The hole that you put water into on these guns is rather small. To put water through it from a faucet takes time and requires a certain amount of skill. In a battle like this, it would almost be suicidal. I understand that well, so I've been taking guns from the people I defeated. But I could only hold one in each hand. Satoko used the bucket to overcome the limit. Then I looked like she had only one water gun. I'd assumed that she had two earlier. But she must have used a lot of water during a long battle with Satoko. It looked like she was trying to save her water for the right moment. But with Satoko's fierce attacks, it was obvious that it was only a matter of time before Rena was driven into a corner. However, Rena is also quite skilled. She only pretended to be driven into a corner, but she was actually luring Satoko to a place where she'd have the advantage. What? There was a narrow, twisting path near the gymnasium warehouse behind the school building. With Rena's water levels running low, she'd want to turn things around with a single, close-range shot. That narrow path was the perfect place for her to do that.
あれあれ、どうしたのかな。
What's wrong? Huh? What's wrong?
攻撃の手が鈍ってきたね。
You're slowing down a little.
疲れてきた？
Getting tired?
お気遣いは嬉しいですけど、まだまだでしてよ。
I appreciate your concern, but I'm not tired at all.
それよりそちらのお水は大丈夫ですよ。
I think you should worry more about your remaining water.
さっきから全然打ち返してきませんわよ。
You haven't shot back at me for a while.
ひょっとしてもう玉切れじゃございませんの？
Your tank is empty, I suppose.
そうだと思うならお顔を出してみたらどう？
If you think so, why don't you stop hiding and show your face?
遠慮いたしましたよ。
I'll pass.
最後の一発を温存しているの分かっていますわ。
I'm aware you've been holding on to your last shot.
一発あれば十分だよ。
One shot is all I need.
体操服を濡らした気の毒だからね。額を打ってあげるね。
I'll be nice and hit you in the forehead. I don't want you to get your clothes wet after all.
Nice headshot taunt.
まさかレナさんとこんなにもスリリングなやりとりができるなんて思いませんでしたわ。
I never imagined I could have such a thrilling battle with you, Rena-san.
でも最後の一発分の水量では大して勢いもないでしょうから、射程もほとんどないんじゃありません？
However, with the amount of water you have remaining, I doubt you have enough pressure to make that last shot go far.
Satoko was right about that. Right about what? I didn't even absorb it because I've been so busy voice acting. Excuse me. Okay, that's what she was right about. Rena had just enough water to make one last shot. As the amount of water left in the tank dwindles, the range of shots you can make shortens. That makes the last shot the shortest and weakest of them all. Regardless of her absolutely disadvantaged situation, Rena didn't look frustrated. I could tell she had no intention to lose. It was almost like she didn't even see Satoko as a threat.
うまい位置に逃げ込みましたわね。
You picked a perfect location for yourself, did you not?
私もさすがに慎重にならざるを得ませんわ。
I have to tread cautiously.
Satoko seemed to understand how dangerous Rena's last shot was going to be better than I did, since she was actually the one fighting against her.
私、将棋はあまりやらないんですけれど、こういうのを詰め将棋って言うんでございましょうね。
She said shogi instead of chess. Shogi is like Japanese chess. And they actually are derived from the same ancestor, but shogi is closer to the ancestor than chess is. And the ancestor came from China, by the way. Came to the west through the Silk Road trade.
I don't play shogi very often, but I believe this kind of situation is called a stalemate, is it not?
Satoko took out another gun with full tank and shortened the distance between them slowly and carefully. A gun with full tank doesn't only have a long range, it also has enough power to make shots more accurate. If they shot at each other in a frontal attack, Satoko would have a 99% chance to win. So, Satoko was still afraid of Rena's last shot. Satoko shortened the distance even further, smiling as if unafraid, but I could tell she was actually full of fear. Satoko compared the situation to chess earlier, but it wasn't exactly the same. In chess, you can use some pieces to drive the opponent's king into a corner, but in this case, there were only Rena and Satoko. You can lose some of your pieces in order to achieve a win, but Satoko doesn't have any pieces other than herself. A king can't drive the other king into a corner alone. That's called a stalemate. That's why, while at first glance it looks like Satoko has the absolute advantage, they're actually on equal footing.
さあ参りますわよ。このままチャイムを待つなんて私たちらしくありませんわ。
Let's finish this. It's not like us to wait for the bow to bring an end to this battle.
そうだね。
You're right.
勝負しよう。
Let's do this!
That's strange, I thought. Rena wouldn't have to move just on a dare from Satoko. What kind of plan did she have? Rena had been hiding behind cover for a while, but she came out without hesitation. I'm sweating profusely. This voice acting is very emotionally investing. Let me turn down my heater 2 clicks, really quickly. I'm back. Rena had been hiding behind cover for a while, but she came out without hesitation. I think I already read that, but I will. I noticed something right away. Rena had a different gun! Satoko seemed to notice it as well.
ここには弾切れになったら逃げ込もうと考えててね。
I had a plan to hide here when my water ran low.
あらかじめ一丁拾って隠してあったの。
I hid a gun in advance.
Darn, she's good! And using a trap at the last moment from a come from behind victory. It was as though she were taking Satoko's best skill from her and firing it right back. Satoko no longer had any advantages now that both of them were pointing their guns at each other with full tanks. I don't know, she looks rather smug. But she still looked confident. What was going on? Did she have some kind of plan too?
その一丁は私にとっても大切な一丁でしたよ。
Excuse me.
That gun you're holding right now is very important to me.
どうしてかな。
What do you mean?
だってその一丁がなかったらレナさんはさっきの銃のまま一撃逆転を狙い続けてこうして私の前に姿を現したりしませんもの。
You would have kept waiting for your perfect shot and wouldn't have come out of hiding if you didn't have that gun.
That moment, lightning ran through my brain and I instantly understood the situation. Of course! Ada Slut, thank you so much for the follow. How are you doing tonight? Rena was in a disadvantaged situation earlier, but it was actually the same for Satoko, since she didn't have a chance to make a shot while Rena was in hiding. Rena had remained cautious in order to hit with her last shot, and that made it difficult for Satoko to attack her. However, what if Rena didn't need to take the last shot for a from behind victory? No, I said it wrong. What if Rena got a new gun with a full tank? She'd stop hiding and come out to fight against Satoko.
つまりレナさんがここを目指しながら逃げてその銃を拾うことは最初から読んでいましたってことですのよ。
What's that I feel like I've seen it. Okay. Excuse me.
You see, I knew from the beginning that you'd run over here in order to obtain that gun.
Let Satoko talk crap, Rena. You don't have to listen to her. Just shoot her right now! Rena thought the same thing. She shot at Satoko without any hesitation. But she frowned in confusion a moment after. What was going on? She couldn't shoot? Was her water gun broken? Did somebody break it?
水鉄砲なんてちょっと砂粒を入れて空打ちすればすぐに詰まっちゃうんですのよ。
Didn't you know that you can usually make a water gun by putting a little bit of sand in an empty tank and pulling the trigger several times? 私が切り札をここに一丁持ってることを先に読んで細工したってわけだね。 You knew I was hiding my trump card here to pull the cheap trick like that, huh?
私いつも言ってましたよ。
I told you.
トラップは最後の最後でほんの一つささやかに。
You only set one small trap at the last moment.
これが究極の美徳でございましたよ。
That is the beauty of traps.
When it comes to traps, Satoko remained a notch above Rena after all. I couldn't believe Satoko figured out Rena's plan in advance and set a trap to counter it. Rena, you made a big mistake. You should have kept the old gun with you. You could have at least made that last shot. But it's too late now for you to pick it up again. Rena was in a worse situation than she was before. She couldn't even take another shot.
さて観念なさいませ。
Be prepared.
さっきレナさんは私の額を撃つとか言われましたわね。
You told me earlier you'd shoot me in the forehead, did you not?
私が逆に額を撃って差し上げましたよ。
Well, I will at least be kind enough for you to do the same favor.
Satoko slowly narrowed her distance again and pointed the muzzle at Rena's forehead. Rena still didn't look like she'd given up. She still thought the game was undecided.
さとこちゃんもまだまだ甘いね。
Satoko-chan, you're not as good as you think you are.
なんですって？
What did you say?
トラップで相手を仕留めたならね。さとこちゃんが余裕を見せるのは
勝者の権利だと思う。
If you got me with the trap, it'll be you right. It'll be your right as the winner to allow yourself the room to breathe and smile like you're doing right now.
だけどね、今のさとこちゃんは私を絡め取っただけで仕留めたわけじゃない。
But all you've done is drive me into a tough spot. You haven't killed me yet.
余裕を見せるのはまだまだ早い段階だとは思わない？
Don't you think it's a little too early for you to act like you've already got me?
何を言い出すかと思えば、
I thought you were going to say something much scarier than that.
今から仕留めるから同じことですわ。
It makes no difference, because I'm going to get you right now.
私が逆の立場なら脳書きなんか言わずにさっさと撃つ。
If I were you, I'd just shoot rather than keep talking.
じゃないと負けるから。
You know why? Because if I didn't, I'd lose.
負ける？
Lose?
誰が？
Are you talking about me?
あら、その壊れた水鉄砲でどうやって戦うおつもりで？
I highly doubt you can fight with a jammed water gun.
被弾の定義覚えてる？
Do you remember the rule?
水鉄砲というこの容器から出た水が最初に触れたものが標的であった時、被弾とする。
You're hit when it's water from a water gun.
は？
Huh?
それが一体何だって言うんですの？
So what are you saying?
When I heard her saying that, I started running. My target was Rena. Satoko was already dead to me. Why? She was going to be shot by Rena within a second.
レナさんが何を言ってるのか私さっぱりでしたよ。
I have absolutely no idea what you're referring to, Rena-san.
その壊れた水鉄砲で何ができるおつもりだか。
Excuse me.
What do you think you can do with a jammed water gun?
水鉄砲の中に水があれば戦えるんだよ。
As long as I have water in my gun, I can still fight.
わかんないかな？
Don't you get it yet? And then I raised her broken water gun up high and smashed its hand.
Oh, go figure. Once I get Rena's voice down pat again, I'm supposed to be speaking as Kate. Rena raised her broken water gun up high and smashed its handle on the wall of this cool building as hard as she could. The plastic broke easily and water flowed out of it.
水鉄砲から出た水が当たればいいんだよ。
As long as the water from the gun hits you, you're dead.
水鉄砲のどこから出たかは問題にしてない。
It doesn't matter where the water comes out.
Rena was right. She just saved herself by thinking it through. If she was using a real gun, bullets would only come out from one end of the gun. Ugh. But this was a water gun. She could make her bullets, water in this case, come out from any place, not just the barrel of the gun. Satoko finally realized that she was standing defenselessly in front of Rena. Satoko's trap was successful, but she overestimated its effect. She should have just shot Rena without hesitation before Rena noticed the new water gun was jammed. She was going to fail because she had grown overconfident of her victory. A second before Satoko pulled the trigger, Rena swung her water gun as if slashing Satoko with a sword. Satoko fired her bullets, but it was too late. A second before Rena would be shot down, a blade of water hit Satoko in the face. No, not hit. It cut her face open!
まだまだ爪が甘かったね。
Your end game wasn't good enough.
この私が
I can't believe I lost!
And Rena ran towards Satoko, who was standing still in shock, and took her water gun. I like how they just grabbed the guns of the fallen. Particularly those they felt. I need to get more of this. But then I knew I was the last target and that I was running towards her. How did Rika go out?
Rena! Rena!
superior mobility, began to duck and weave. We were evenly matched. Neither of us neglected to make any effort possible to take advantage of the situation.
最後には一騎打ちになると思ってたよ。
I knew it would end up being a one-on-one battle with you.
やっぱりこうでなくっちゃね。
I knew you wouldn't disappoint me.
見直したぜ。とんでもない根性を見せてくれるじゃないか。
I'm seeing you in a new light today. I didn't know you had the guts.
見直したより惚れ直したの方が嬉しいかな。
I'd like you to see me in a romantic way.
負けてくれたらそれでもいいぜ。
I could try if you let me win.
ごめんだね。
No thanks.
We circled around the construction equipment, trying to take shots at each other. We were both sweating like crazy. Hey, I matched. But I didn't feel tired. Big drops of sweat tickled as they ran down my body. Tickled as a trickle. Rapid bursts of water flew across both of our paths. Neither of us had the advantage or disadvantage. I didn't feel elated that I might win or frustrated that I might lose. I was just enjoying this battle with Rena. It was like a dance. A dance that I couldn't dance alone. A dance that I could only dance with an opponent.
本気のレナはやっぱり冴えるね。
Rena sure is sharp and she got serious.
見てるだけで震えがくるよ。
It's giving me chills.
そのレナさんと互角に渡り合うなんてケイチさんもやりますわね。
Kay sounds good too. He's evenly matched with her.
どちらが勝つか全然予想がつきませんです。
I can't tell who's going to win.
In fact, none of the observers could tell who was going to win. Neither could we. We had no idea who was going to win. I know Japanese, repeats, like, a whole majority of sentences with little variations over and over again, like it's a thing in Japanese, but it just sounds extraneous in English. We had no idea when this battle would end. I didn't know why, but it was great fun just to fight against Rena, and I didn't even care whether I won or lost. In fact, I never even wanted it to end. As we fired at each other, both of our tanks emptied, shortening our range. Inevitably became more and more like a melee than a gun battle. We fired our water guns as if trying to cut each other with blades of water, swinging the gun like a sword. We both came up with the idea to swing the gun hard to generate centrifugal force. Actually, it's centripetal force. Generate centripetal force in order to increase the range of our attacks. I dived to duck her shot. I rolled to the ground and landed on my feet. I ducked her shot again and swung my gun like a sword. Who could have imagined that our club's water gun battle would turn into one-on-one close combat like this? Absolutely nobody!
Ah, やっぱりレナもそう思うか。
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely foreshadowing. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who doesn't know what's going on, but yeah, definitely foreshadowing. Oh, you think so too, Rena?
じゃあケイチ君もそう思うんだ。
Are you too, Kate-kun?
We're both breathing hard, calculating the timing needed to take a closer step. And then, we both grinned wickedly at each other.
やり合うのが楽しくてならねえぜ。
This is so fun!
決着がつくことすら興ざめするくらいにな。
I don't want it to ever end! I'm getting out of breath too. It's good cardio. Which is the one exercise I need the least because I have a condition where my heart has to pump harder to pump the blood vessels up from my legs, which are less depressurized, or which aren't as pressurized as they should be. So my heart is already getting full workout day to day. So cardio is the exercise I don't need, but any cardio is good, as long as it's not too much.
負けても恨まないでね。
Don't hate me if you lose.
ああ、恨まない。
No, never!
この勝負を終わらせた自分の不甲斐なさを恨んでやるぜ。
I'd hate myself for ending this game.
だがそいつを恨むのはどうやらレナの方になりそうだな。
But I know I won't be the one crying in the end.
どうかな？
Trying to crack my back. Sorry, I bumped the wall with my mic.
I don't know about that.
ケイチ君、足が藁だよ。
Your feet are getting weak, like they're made of straw.
くそったれ。
Shut up! He sure likes to say that word during this fight. Warrior!
すごい。
Wow,
なんだかものすごくかっこいい。
they both look so cool.
前原さん、頑張れ。
Maibara-san, go!
龍河さん、しっかり。
Ryuuguu-san, you can get him!
I became relaxed enough to enjoy the battle. I finally realized that many of our classmates were watching our one-on-one fight. I barely had any water left. I would have to make the next shot count, or I was done for. It seemed like Rena was in the same situation too.
泣いても笑っても次で終わりだな。
The next shot will decide it.
水が有限なのが惜しいぜ。
I wish we could fill up our tanks and keep doing this forever.
限りがあるから美しい。
Well, people enjoy things because they end eventually.
花も一緒だよ。
Flowers are beautiful especially because they wither.
なるほどな。そういう見方もあるか。
I see. That's one way to look at it.
本当に楽しかった。
It's been fun fighting against you.
でも、これで終わりだね。
But this is it.
だな。
Indeed.
無粋かもしれんが勝って決着させてもらうぜ。
Sorry, but I'm going to end this battle.
上等だよ、ケイチ君。
Good luck, Kate-kun.
負けて泣くなよ。
Oh, that really hurt my throat. Don't cry when you lose.
勝負。
Let's do this.
乗った。
Heck yeah! I need some ice cream after this. I have some.
Wow.
I have some coffee bean ice cream. It's my favorite ice cream ever. From my favorite ice cream parlor.
どっちが勝ったんですの？
Which one of them won?
The cries of the cicadas echoed in the quiet schoolyard. They sounded like the hand of a watch ticking away the seconds. Neither one of us moved. We took our final shots and now stood motionless. It looked like one of those duels in Western movies.
どっちが先に？
Who hit the other first?
わかんない。全然見えなかった。
I don't know. I couldn't see it.
Our classmates broke the silence first. They finally realized that our intensely beautiful one-on-one battle was over.
委員長、判定は？
Class Prez, what is your decision?
Mion, in turn, realized that she had to deliver a verdict to end the game. But she was just as stunned as the others, and it took her a moment to recover. Mion was taking time to render a verdict. In fact, Rena and I didn't know who won either. My last shot flew fast and splashed sideways as if a blade had cut her chest. I knew that for sure. But at the same moment, Rena's shot hit me in the shoulder. Whoever shot the other first wins. But we didn't know if it was me or her. That's why we stood motionless, waiting for the verdict to be delivered.
リカには見えまして？
Did you see it, Rika?
僕にだってわかるわけないのです。
I can't tell.
委員長、どっちの勝ちなの？
Class Prez, who won?
Everybody held their breath, waiting for Mion to call it. My breath feels nice and cool in my arms. Rena and I kept staring at each other. The spectators were the only ones who were interested in who the winner was. To us, it wasn't that important. We had a great battle. We both really wanted to do better than the other. We both wanted to call it a tie. For this great battle, settling for a tie would be the best and most proper option. In other words, this one-on-one fight wasn't a battle to decide the winner. It seems like everybody is thinking the same way.
Me?
Yeah.
判定が出ないと二人とも動けませんです。
They can't move if you don't deliver a verdict.
Yeah.
Mion hates to settle for a tie because she loves to draw a line between superiors and inferiors. She tends to settle for a tie when deciding who is a loser because it's more fun to have as many people as possible suffer the punishment. But she's never settled for a tie between winners before. Mion holds a special feeling towards the meaning of being number one. Everybody continued holding their breath, awaiting her verdict. Please make it a tie. Everybody wished for that in their hearts. Mion was hesitating to make the decision. She could have chosen a winner more easily if one of us did even a little bit better than the other. But even if one of us did a little better than the other, I feel like nothing fits better than settling for a tie.
今日の二人は見事だったよ。
The two of you did great today. Mion finally started speaking.
ケイちゃんもレナもここしばらくの連敗に発奮し最高の力を発揮してくれた。
Kei-chan and Rena, you showed a significant spirit and skill today.
その瞬発力は評価の高低の段階を超えてもはや美しいと呼べるまでに昇華されてたよ。
The explosive power you showed us was so beautiful that it's beyond even the highest praise I can ever give.
私は二人の最高の戦いぶりに評価を惜しめない。
It's very difficult for me to decide who the winner should be after watching such an amazing battle.
じゃあ決着はどうなるんですの？
Then, you mean we have two winners?
快速の精神から1位を二人に認定するのは好ましくない。
I don't like to have two winners. That's not really the point of our club.
でも二人にはわずかの優劣もなくどちらを膠着させるかの判断もとてもつかない。
However, they were both so good that it's very hard for me to decide who was better.
My mind keeps wanting to skip words and rearrange them in order of how I'm saying them, not like I'm dyslexic or anything.
よって
So,
本日の戦いを預かり勝負とし
I'm going to
後
call
日
it.
改めて決着をつけることといたしたい。
Yukino Sensei.
I'm going to call it a tie for today, and I'll have another battle at some other time to decide the winner.
I expected she might settle for a tie, but I never thought she'd make us have another battle. Really?
エバラさん、すごかったですよ。
Have you never heard the concept of a tiebreaker before?
Maebara-san, you were awesome!
かっこよすぎます。
You were so cool!
竜宮さんにもしびれました。
Ryuuguu-san, you gave me chills.
なんかこう、まあ
It was like, you know,
見てるこっちまで熱くなるというか。
you set our hearts on fire.
The classmates rushed toward us and praised us for showing them something that cool. Rena and I were finally released from the tension of battle and dropped to our knees.
残念。
Too bad.
決着をつけ損なったね。
We tied.
まあな、
Yeah,
次の機会を楽しみにしようぜ。
I can't wait for our next battle.
肩を貸してほしいな。
Can you give me your hand?
先に言うな。
Of course.
俺が借りようと思ったのに。
I was going to ask you the same thing. We both smiled at each other. It was the first time we ever hit it off like this. I seeing the sparks of romantic interest flying?
それはそうと
That aside,
No, let's focus on this for a second.
うまいことやったよな。
She's pulled a fast one, hasn't she?
うまいことって何がですの？
what do you mean?
みーちゃん、うまいこと言って今日の罰ゲームうやむやにする気だ。
Me-chan's trying to get away without suffering the punishment while we're distracted.
ギク。
あ。
かっこつけときながら、保身第一ってあたりがミオンっぽい。
She was just trying to sound cool. The main reason she delivered that verdict was to protect herself.
うん。あ、
Yeah! Hey!
逃げたぞ。図星かよ。わかりやすいやつだな。
She's running away! Looks like my guess was right. She's so obvious. The bell rang, a sign that class was over while we all laughed at meal. After that,
二人ともお疲れ様なのです。
Good job out there, you two.
タオルをどうぞなのです。
Here, use this towel.
I need a towel. Where's my towel? Rika-chan held out a towel, a big smile on her face. However, Rena and I stepped back and pointed our water guns at her.
み
Me.
ー、もうみんなにいっぱいいっぱい撃たれましたのです。
I was already shot many times.
もう撃たれてると言っても誰も信じてくれないのですよ。
That's because there was a reason for that, Rika.
I told everybody I was already hit, but nobody believed me.
Rika-chan was soaking wet. Well, nobody believed her because she really could be that sneaky, pretending that she was hit in order to stay in the game.
普段が普段でございますものね。
She knows.
It's your own fault that nobody believes you.
信じろというのが難しい相談でございましたよ。
Sometimes it's hard to believe anything you say.
Her good old roommate
みー、
putting her on blast. And that phrase hasn't been memed for a while.
Me.
みんながいじめるのです。
Well, we can still say she got wrecked.
Everybody is so mean to me.
僕はもう一人ぼっちなのです。
I feel lonely.
段ボール箱の中でミーミー泣いて誰も拾ってくれないかわいそうな猫さんなのですよ。
I'm lonely like a poor kitten crying in a cardboard box because nobody wants her.
みーみ
Me. Me.
We have a sound command.
ー。かいいよ。お持ち帰り。
Well, actually, it's this way because the camera's not mirrored anymore. Crap. The sound came from Rena's head. I saw a circle of smoke coming out of it. Rena must have pictured Rika-chan meowing like a cat in a cardboard box.
リカちゃん捨ててあるよ。捨ててある。レナが拾うよ。お持ち帰り。
What's with the echo there? That's weird. Well, there are a lot of things I'd have to ask the developers of the PS3 port.
Pikachu has an abandoned kitten. Kitten. I'm taking her home with me. Let's Katie.
Kind of like. Rena, you're ruining how cool we looked earlier. Rena was back to her normal self and jumped on Rika-chan like a chameleon capturing its prey. Rika-chan struggles to get away.
はい皆さん早く教室に戻りなさい
Ah,
Come on, everyone. Get back to your classroom now.
Sensei clapped your hands and yelled at us from the window of the teacher's office.
行こうぜみんな
Let's go, everyone! Everyone exchanged smiles and ran back to the classroom.
Higurashi no naku koro ni Tsumihoroboshi-hen.
I was about to say Miyakashi-hen.
New tips acquired. Pleasant weather. Achievement unlocked. The Great Water Gun Disaster. No, I don't want my... Steam keeps trying to get me to do their friends chat or whatever crap. I wish I could just disable it. The Great Water Gun Disaster. I see what they did there. Substituted water gun for Hinamizawa. Participate in the Grand Melee. Alright. So, this is going to be it for me tonight. We'll continue from the tips we just unlocked tomorrow. Oh, if you're not part of the Discord, feel free to join it. I'll throw the link up there in chat. That's where you get notified as when we're about to go live and how you keep in contact with our little community in the meantime. Thank you again, Adaslit, for the follow. Clever username. And thank you for everyone who came out and tuned in. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. And as always, if you like what you see, please feel free to click like, comment, follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, join that Discord. Any feedback you can give me and all will help me tailor my future content towards your interests. I'm Ryuuguu Pastor, and until next time, Wale!